You think Leticia James, the New York Attorney General, is afraid of Donald Trump or Kash Patel if he heads the FBI, that she's afraid she's going to be put in jail? Well, think again, because she's just responded to Donald Trump's demand that the New York Attorney General immediately rip up and throw away a $500 million civil fraud judgment she hard fought and obtained against Donald Trump after an almost 12-week trial because, in the words of Donald Trump, Abraham Lincoln would like it. George Washington would like it. Well, JFK would like it. And for the good of the country and unity, forget that. Go pound sand. We got the new reporting right here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. I'm Michael Popok. Take a minute and hit that free subscribe button. I'm at the intersection of law, New York law, politics, and collecting on judgments. So we've got the following. You may remember 6 or 8 months ago, Leticia James and her office successfully obtained, after a 12-week trial, against Donald Trump and somebody named Alina Habba, who's now going to be the incoming counselor to the president because of all of her failures in representing Donald Trump in the past. Well, Leticia James's office proved to a judge after 11 weeks that Donald Trump and the Trump organization committed persistent fraud in the operation of their companies and obtained loans and insurance coverages that they shouldn't have because they lied about the size of Donald Trump's personal financial statement. And this was after dozens and dozens of witnesses, including those that worked for the Trump organization. Donald Trump himself tried to testify, and a mountain, as the judge put it, a mountain of evidence in the courtroom against Donald Trump. She got the $500 million judgment, and Donald Trump appealed it. And the appellate court in New York, the First Department appellate court, said, well, that seems a little high. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. Why don't you put up a $175 million bond, Mr. Trump, so they don't enforce it, and let's have a full appeal on this issue. Now, I practice in New York. The First Department is very tough on damage awards. A little harder on juries, very tough on judges. So I expect the $500 million after the oral argument that I listened to. I expect it to go down. I think it'll go down to a $200 or $300 million range. It's not going to be thrown out. It's not going to be vacated. And so that appeal is pending, and Donald Trump brought that appeal. Now he's claiming in a letter that he sent to the Attorney General a couple weeks ago through John Sauer, who's going to be the Solicitor General of the United States, the 10th Justice of the United States. How do I know that? Because John Sauer wrote it in the letter that he wrote to Leticia James, almost like threatening her, almost extorting her. I'm going to be a powerful man one day, and you'll be quaking in your boots. Leticia James, then people don't know Tish James. And so he said in his letter, and this was right before Thanksgiving, so I guess it was on his mind. Turkey was on his mind. He said in Lincoln's Thanksgiving Day proclamation, what was he pardoning the turkeys? He called for national unity. And George Washington, in his farewell address, called for national unity. And JFK, in an address to Harvard, called for national unity. I'm halfway through the letter. I'm like, what are you talking about? National unity that comes from Donald Trump being let off the hook of a $500 million judgment? This is from the party that won't let people get out from under their student loans. We're going to let him walk because he happened to win the election? On what grounds? On what basis? All of the fraud that was proven happened when he wasn't even president. So I don't really understand any of this. And look, civil lawsuits can continue against the president when he's in office and without finding that it's unconstitutional. And John Sauer should know that because he was involved in some cases that they reminded him of in their new letter back to him. So that was what the presentation was. And I knew soon after Thanksgiving there would be a letter from Leticia James, and now we got it, right? And so her deputy attorney general wrote a letter on letterhead that said, "Dear Mr. Sauer," I'm paraphrasing again, "this is a civil case, not a criminal case, and you know better. And I'm going to cite some cases to you to show you this case, which is already post-judgment. We're already just at the appellate level. Everything else is done. Couldn't possibly impair or impede the office of the presidency. And you cite no other justification for us to throw away the people's judgment. We're not going to do that. You're maintaining your appeal. If you lose the appeal at the First Department, you'll take it to the highest court in New York. If you lose that appeal, that's okay. You're allowed to litigate while you're the president of the United States. It's not too distracting, and you're doing it anyway. But no, you've cited nothing in the case law, this is a civil, not criminal case. It's for activities and conducts that happened when Donald Trump was not even president, and we're not going to get rid of the case or the judgment or vacate it. Good day. In a very short, pithy, page-and-a-half letter back. Now, Donald Trump, I'm sure, is going to take that letter, attach it to something he's going to file with the First Department Appellate Division. Well, we tried. We tried to get the Attorney General to do the right thing and just throw away the judgment. I've been doing this for 34 years. I've never seen anybody throw away a judgment because somebody asked, especially that size. So they're going to attach it. I see it coming now. John Sauer's got about another month before he's going to be in the White House. He won't be able to write letters like this anymore. But he's going to write another letter filing with the Appellate Division, First Department. Oh, we tried and they're mean to us and they won't do it. And Tish James is a radical and she's been trying to go after Donald Trump since day one. And Judge Engoron's a radical and everybody's out to get them. And he's going to be president. And you should stay the entirety of this case and you should force the vacating and the throwing out of the judgment. You got an appeal. You got an appeal issue. Then bring your appeal issue. The rest of this letter writing is obviously for the media and for MAGA and to generate and gin up some interest in this matter. But I mean, that's all the letter writing is about. There's an appellate division First Department appeal right now. My gut is that they're going to cut that judgment, not in half, but they're going to cut it by a lot. And then the loser, which will probably be the Attorney General, is going to take an appeal herself up to the Court of Appeals, the highest court in New York. And then we'll get a final ruling, I don't know, sometime in late 2025. And then Donald Trump will have to pay the money. I mean, there's no other way around it. There's no precedent on the books, even for the MAGA Supreme Court, that a civil judgment for some certain dollar amount doesn't get paid because the guy happened to win election. That's not the law. That's not the Constitution. That's not constitutional case law around it. And John Sauer, who's going to be the 10th justice as the Solicitor General, knows better, but his Trump loyalty is showing. He writes crazy things, hoping it'll stick. And because he put it on some sort of letterhead of a future Solicitor General, nobody cares. And Leticia James is not afraid. Keep an eye on her. She's not afraid that Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, if he somehow gets through the confirmation process, is going to go after her. She welcomes it. She welcomes it. I want to see her pardoned just because I want to see Joe Biden Dark Brandon stick it to the Trumpers on the way out. But I can see why she wants to fight back. Keep an eye on Tish James. She's going to be leading the charge in hundreds and hundreds of lawsuits, some of which have already been prepared and drafted. They're just waiting to push the button as soon as Donald Trump gets in, against his executive orders, against the Project 2025 agenda, against women, against children, against immigrants, against citizens, against voters, against healthcare, against our water and our air and our environment and our health. They're ready. She's going to lead the charge along with RFK Jr. Against RFK Jr.'s worst instincts. She's going to lead it with the Attorney General, the Attorneys General of California, right? Of all the other blue states. There's 17 blue states that are in complete control of the Democrats, and they're going to have to be the first wave. They're going to have to be the cavalry to save democracy through the court system, through the federal court system, filing in federal courts that we can trust and are led by Biden appointees and Obama appointees and even Clinton appointees and maybe even a moderate Reagan appointee. And do to them what they've been doing to us for the last 4 years. I'll continue to follow it all. You're here already. Here, hit the blue button. That really helps us. Leave a comment, vote, follow me, Michael Popok. Popok Live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch YouTube channel. Wednesdays and Saturdays, Legal AF, the podcast. And then right here on the Legal AF YouTube channel. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.